right. Hello, wine drinking people. Today is Wednesday, October 13th, and quite a few events coming up here over the next few weeks. Just to fill you in, we've kind of switched things up a little bit here. Next week, instead of the Augustin Huneeus Jr. event at Cafe Max, we're going to move that to Trina with Chef Mark Militello, our first event down there. We're excited about working with Mark and Tom, and know these guys for a long time. Some great food. I had dinner there last night. You'll hear about that in the What I Drank Yesterday part of the show. All right, well, that's Thursday next week, and we do have a Wednesday tasting at Cafe Max with New Zealand wines. We've got a Tuesday event next week with Louis Jadot, the Burgundy 2009 Burgundy pre-sale barrel tasting. And Friday night, we've got one of our most popular events of the year, our Dal Forno events. And this is a semi-annual event. Dal Forno is one of the top producers from the Veneto, and those of you that have been watching this show know that Amarone is one of my favorite wines on earth. And Dal Forno Romano and Giuseppe Quintarelli are the two gods of this region. And, every year we'll do a Quintarelli. Every other year we'll do Dal Forno. And then every third year we do Dal Forno versus Quintarelli. And I like to throw in a few producers in there like Tommaso Bussola, Mazzi, Bertani, some other producers that make great Amarone just to see how they stand up. And inevitably, Dal Forno, Quintarelli almost always steal the show. But Dal Forno, a little bigger in style, and these two producers, even though considered the top, very different in terms of production. Dal Forno does not dry his grapes for as long. He also uses small new barrique. Quintarelli dries his grapes very long, makes a sweeter style, uses all old oak, does not want the influence of the new oak. I had a chance to visit Dal Forno Romano a few years ago in Italy. It was an absolutely fantastic visit. The cellars there are meticulous. You could eat off of the floor, and he has these new drying rooms that he set up for the grapes, also meticulous, and the brickwork in the cellar, incredible. One of the most beautiful cellars I've ever been in. You can tell this is a man possessed to make some of the world's greatest wines. Amarone's made a little different style than most other wines. They dry the grapes, so first you need a good season, and then you need good drying conditions. Most of the producers control the drying conditions today to make sure that the things are just perfect. And as I mentioned before, Dal Forno built this new drying room to make sure his grapes are unaffected by mold or anything else while they're drying. And he likes to get quite a bit of concentration in his wine. If you look at the alcohol level on his wines, 17.5% on the label. That's within 5% leeway, so they could be as high as 18% alcohol in certain vintages. Well, we're going to take you back, not all the way back to the first vintage, which was 1985, which we have showed at prior events, which is still drinking beautiful. But tonight we're going all the way back to 1994 with one of his dessert wines, the Nettare. And we'll also be showing the Recioto, one of my favorite wines from Dal Forno, the 1997. And when we visited Dal Forno, he said this is the greatest wine he's ever made. Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to be drinking it just a week from this Friday. And then we're going to have 4 or 5 vintages of his Amarone, a couple vintages of Valpolicella, which is Valpolicella. Well, that's the only wine that we have in the store at the moment. That's why it's the lone Dal Forno sitting on the table. But his Valpolicella is as concentrated and as rich as most people's Amarone is. So check it out. We've got a special menu planned for that night. Wine Watch Catering will be doing the food. Check it out. All of it is going to be up on this email, up on the website, hopefully later today. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone for the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.